Good to be back in LA, Gil. I know you don't miss Cleveland at all.
Don't.
Because I damn sure don't. It was like 13 degrees. We back in the valley. It's about 85 out here today.
85.
I'm trying not to sweat. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment. But before we hit, we got a ton of basketball stuff to talk about. We got to hit you on some family stuff first. Daughter just won a championship with Sierra Canyon, state champion.
Yes.
You put on IG. Now, if you win the chip, you get a whip. Got her a Porsche. Is that what she wanted? Did you pick that out? How did that end up working out?
That's what she wanted. I mean, we went through so many different cars. Her friends got a GLE. One has a Mercedes. You know, so with that group from Sierra Canyon, they all want to drive luxury cars. So she narrowed it down to the Porsche.
So she's standing on her friends. Where is her car ranking amongst her crew?
I don't know, because the things I thought was amazing, they're like, yeah, that's an old person's car. Like, so when it comes to teenagers, they value names different.
Okay.
Because I was gonna give her a Bentley, 2004, 5 used, just for the name. So that's a mom's car. Like, oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, yeah.
It's funny because I told my dad I wanted a Porsche in high school. He said, shit, you better take this Honda Accord and be happy. And I appreciate it now, looking back on it, because these gas prices, $7 a gallon. And you got to go with the 91 on the Porsche. I was straight 89 on the Honda. So, you can put anything in that and get it to go. Now you got to go with the straight 91 on the Porsche. But we obviously got NCAA's got March Madness going on. We're going to do some NBA madness. First and foremost, got to talk Kyrie. Tuesday night against the Magic. Dropped 41 in the first half. I'm watching the game. I'm like, all right, Nash need to go ahead and let this dude just cook. Mm-hmm. He don't got to play the next 3 games after. He's going to have a week off. Let him go. After the game, KD tweeted that, 11 put on a masterclass and people need to review that film. Mm-hmm. If you were coaching the Nets, Coach Gill, and you got Kyrie drop 41 in the first half, he's going to have a week off because you got 3 home games coming up. Are you letting him cook, and how much are you going to let him play, and how high do you want him to get?
Me as a scorer, me as a competitor, I'm letting him rock, right? Like, I want you to break whatever record that you can possibly break. You're already this close. You're already this close. So, like, you 60, there's 8 minutes to go. All right, I'm going to play you 3 more minutes. Let me see where you get. You at 70? There's 5 minutes left? All right, let's keep on going. You know what you mean? You got, there's 78 points with a minute left. Do you? Who am I to stop you from creating history? I don't care if they're mad on the other side because you running up the score. This is the NBA. Those players are NBA players.
Yeah.
Tell them to play defense. At this point, he already got 60.
Yeah.
It's not my problem if I'm keeping him in. You know what I mean? So as a player, I want to see my players create history, break history, set history. So he already got to that point. I'm going to let him rock out.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's like what Earl Watson did with Booker.
That's funny. I was going to bring that up. And even though they had lost that game, you had the Celtics kind of getting mad at Earl. Earl was like, well, shit, see me in the tunnel if you really feel some way about it.
You getting mad at me because y'all can't, think about what the concept, you're getting mad that I'm leaving him in because you can't stop him.
Yeah.
You're an NBA, you're an NBA team. You have NBA players. You have defenders who are trying to make it and get to the next level. Play some defense. Play some defense, right? If you stop him 10 times in a row, he might look over and say, all right, I'm done.
Exactly.
That's your job. Your job is to stop him from doing it. My job is not to stop him by taking him out.
And obviously that was a different point in Book's career versus where Kyrie's at now. Earl knowing that, hey, we might not be a good squad now, but down the road, this is going to pay dividends.
Kyrie ain't playing for another week.
Exactly.
Right? Everybody's been talking trash. Do you, my man?
So, want to hit you. You dropped 60, obviously. How tired are you after that? I think as a casual fan, we watch on the couch and we just think, these baskets magically go in, but it's hard scoring. That shit is tiring.
No.
No tired?
You got to remember, and this is what I always tell kids or just parents about conditioning. To be a great scorer, to average 30 in the NBA, you have to be in shape.
Yeah.
You have to be in shape, to be able to sustain that energy, game in, game out, game in, game out. Because you got to remember, you're traveling, You're practicing, you're playing against high-level guard. So what Steph Curry and LeBron and them are doing, you really have to understand the KDs, the Tatums, the John Morants. They're so in shape compared to everyone else. The shape is the most important because if you're not in shape, your body's gonna break down. You're not gonna be able to, 5 minutes into the game, you're gonna sit in there waving your hand because you're tired. Like I see high school kids do that. I see, AAU kids do that. Come get me. Like,
yeah, scoring is hard work.
Now think about that. There's 4 minutes left in the quarter and you're tired. Imagine if you get to play those 4 minutes. You done added probably 6 to 8 points.
Yeah.
You're losing out on 6 to 8 points just because you're not in shape.
That's real talk. I think, even getting that bucket and having to make sure you do the sweet run back with the camera on you, just in case, because the camera's going to cut to you, so you always just got to look good. That's a little exhausting as well. That's especially doing that, 20, 30 times in the game now when you're dropping a 50, 60 piece. Like, a lot of things that people don't consider as they're watching this game, but that stuff is exhausting. But back to Kyrie, Nets have 13 games left, 9 at home, 4 on the road. One of those games is against the Knicks in New York. So Kyrie's only going to be able to play 3 more games this series if he's fully healthy. Do you think that's going to help him in the postseason getting that rest, or is that going to be even more problematic now as you get into a playoff series where, the Nets, the way they're slated right now, they're 8th. I'm sure they'll go up a little bit. They'll still be a road team for the bulk of the postseason. Is that going to benefit? Is that going to hurt?
I mean, okay. All of it is stupid at this point. It's all the ruling is just dumb. I mean, I'm just gonna say it's just dumb. And, he shows up, no mask, unvaccinated, front row, and that's fine. No outrage, no nothing. Then what is the difference between him actually being on the court in uniform versus him on the court in street clothes? And then you fine him for going in the locker. For what?
It's his locker.
What did he do different than he did when he was on the court? Does the air change in the locker room? Does the air change between the lines? Like, what are we actually thinking about when we're putting these rules in? Like, make it make sense. He can shake all his teammates' hands. He can work out with all these teammates. He can hang, he can go in and he can kiss and hug everybody, but then you find him for the locker room. What the f is so special about the locker room at this point now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like in the locker room, you got a lot more to worry about than...
The locker room is more secure than the floor.
But
There's 20, 30,000 people breathing that same air, and that's fine. You go in a locker room where there's only about 20 people allowed. Oh my God, it's such a danger. Like, stop, just stop.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't agree with Kyrie and not vaccinating and doing all that stuff, but I will say at this point, enough's enough. Shit's opened up. The man can't be showing up looking like Frank Lucas in the nice jacket and shit, sitting courtside breathing on these dudes, and he can't go get a bucket. What are we doing?
That's what I said. It makes no logistic sense to me. But as a team, trying to get the rhythm. Trying to get everybody sharp and ready for the playoffs to make that big playoff push. It kind of hurts because you are missing games. But as you can see, he's well-tuned. He's a well-tuned machine. Right now, with Ben Simmons out and it's just KD and he can't play those 9 games, right? 10 games. You gotta be worried a little bit.
Most definitely.
Because, out of those 10 games, just to keep an 8th, you probably got to win about 13. You got to probably win about 8 to 9.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see New York lifting that mandate in time for the playoffs?
Is the mayor a Knicks fan or a Nets fan?
It was crazy is there's been reports that he's a Knicks fan, but with everything going on in the internet nowadays, I don't believe shit that I see unless I talk to that man directly or I see him at a Knicks game next to Spike with the cap on.
I mean, at this point, he's older, probably he's from New York. He's a Nets fan, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to lift that until.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure he's not going to lift that until he has to.
Now, we talked at length about Ben Simmons. He was on Chilligan's Island till the trade. hasn't yet played with the Nets. Just reported that he got an epidural in his back, been dealing with some back issues while they were in Orlando Tuesday night. What's going on with Ben, and do you think at this point Ben can actually help this squad come playoff?
Oh, no, he's going to help him when he gets out there.
Okay.
I mean, Ben has everything surrounding him on that Nets team to be successful, to play the game that he plays, not forced to do anything. You don't have to force Ben to take 20 shots, shoot threes. No, he gets to actually be what he is, and nobody's gonna boo him for not shooting. You already have Kevin Durant and Kyrie. You don't need another person trying to take up 30 shots. You know what I mean? So now a guy who can get the ball around, rebound, play great defense, that's what he becomes. When it comes to his back situation, at that point, it's take your time. Back, you lose back, you lose power, you lose everything. So, if that is a serious issue, then you really want to take, because you're talking about future, if he can't play this year, hey, next year, everyone's going to be healthy, and then we can make a big run for next year. If he's ready for playoffs and he can be 100 in playoffs, let's go.
How hard is it, though, not playing the game all season, not, being with the Sixers for that first half and now trying to come in on the back end and get that work in? How hard is it now to be able to go? This is playoff basketball now. It's not regular season, mid-season, late season. This is the show now. This is where all the money's made, and he hasn't played a game yet.
You got to remember, this is not college, this is not high school, this is not semi-pro or what. These are professional NBA players, right? Where they have all day to themselves to prepare, get in shape, be ready. I mean, we see what happened when Kyrie finally came back, what he looked like. We've seen what Lance Stevenson, who ain't been in the league 2 years, his first game, 20 in the first, 20 in 5 minutes. That's what NBA players, that's what professionals are at that level, where you can just insert them in and they're instantly good. So it all depends on, is he in shape? That's the most important. Is he in shape? Has he been playing up and down? Is the back really limiting him from, actually performing in practice? Because you gotta remember, you're practicing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. You're getting everything you need in practice. You're gonna be battle tested against two of the best offensive players in the game at their position. So playing in the games, it's mediocre at this point.
So let's move on to Ben's former team, the 76ers. Now, when that trade went down, the initial response was Daryl Morey got fleeced. Then Harden and Embiid were out there putting in work. Harden averaging 30 pieces, just dominating, doing his thing. But then the Nets came to town. Boo Ben Simmons day. Everybody was clowning. Kyrie took the challenge, locked up Harden. Should the Sixers be concerned, and should they still be trusting the process at this point?
I mean, he got fleeced, right?
That's what they said.
That's what it is. You did. You lost too much. But I mean, I get it. At that point, you wanted a superstar, and now you have to look and see that you still have ways to go. At this point, you have two players. You have a third in was it Maxey, which he's playing to a number that you probably can't afford at this point. You know what I mean? He's gonna be worth some money. And he's not a max player, but he's gonna be looking for big money. Yeah. So you're gonna either overpay for him or you're gonna lose him, right? You got Tobias, where I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to trade him. Now, with his number, that's damn near almost close to a max player. You got a long ways to go to put a championship caliber team together. Or not, you're just gonna have two superstars that play good together. Everybody else is getting hurt. If I'm James Harden, I will be mad as shit if Nets get to the championship. If Nets get to the championship and I'm Harden, I'm livid. You messed my summer up.
Who are you mad at? You mad
myself.
At I'm saying you looking in the mirror, you have
because Because you got to look at the view of what a player like him is thinking. You know, he has all the scoring titles. He has all of that. He came there to win a championship. One player's not playing. He's playing half of the games. One player is getting hurt. You're by yourself. Now, yourself is looking at your surroundings now. One player's not playing. KD's hurt. It's me, and then this. This ain't no championship team. These are some bums at this point. Why am I here? Yeah. I'm not gonna win no champion. I'm wasting my talent around this group because who helps him is not there. I want out. You know what I mean? And that's the thought process. Like, you know, you put me with Embiid and you put me with them, I have a better chance over there than I do here because he's not looking at the two pieces that he's there for. So that's what I would be saying. If I'm him and I look back, for hindsight, I got Embiid, I got Tobias, I got this, we look better. But now KD's healthy, the shit is getting lifted, now Kyrie's coming back, and it's like, oh man, did I blow my chance of actually winning the championship?
So if you're Joel Embiid, playing at an MVP level, what are you feeling right now? Are you frustrated? Are you still optimistic? Do you think this thing with Harden can work?
Listen, Embiid is going to be more delusional than anything because of the Ben Simmons thing, he needs this to work. He needs to prove to the city that this was the right trade, right? This was the right move that we did. You know, so he needs it to work. So he's going to always, no matter what happens, in his mind, it's always, this was the best thing we did. We got rid of a guy who didn't want to be here. So you're never really going to get his true intentions of really how he feels. Because at the end of the day, Ben Simmons wasn't here, and to him, he should be grateful. The only reason you're an MVP candidate is because one whole superstar wasn't there. And you got to do what you got to do. Carry the team by yourself. You got to look at it from that standpoint, too. You can't look at it like, oh, yeah, ha, 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 get out of here. You're an MVP candidate because he was out of here. He was an MVP candidate because he wasn't playing. You got to be the man.
So anything less than a championship?
No, they're not winning no goddamn championship, bro. I don't even have them getting out of the first round unless they play the Bulls or not even the Bulls. If they play Toronto or Cleveland.
They're not getting out the first round?
The only way they get out of the first round is if they play Cleveland or Toronto. Everybody else is too disciplined.
Okay.
When it comes to playoffs. You think they beaten Boston in 7 games? You see what Boston's been doing to their ass. You think they beaten Chicago in the playoffs? You think they beaten Miami in the playoffs? You think they beaten Bucks in the playoffs? You think they beaten Nets in the playoffs first round?
I'm happy to hear you finally getting on this.
No, I'm just saying you got to remember we're talking about playoffs is discipline. It's half court. That means less possessions. Like, you have to be perfect, basically, in the playoffs. That team ain't disciplined enough. So the only team you can beat with just being Embiid and just being James Harden, you can beat the Cavs, and you can beat Toronto, just being y'all. But from there, y'all got to sacrifice, and I don't see them sacrificing just for the playoffs to beat the other teams. Nah, first round, unless they play those teams. Then the second round, then they get knocked out of there.
So Daryl Morey followed me on Twitter, so I've been keeping my Sixers slander to a minimum. But damn, we're gonna see. I hope they're not watching the show. And if it does happen, it's an I told you so.
It's truth. Like I think I don't get much hate because I'm not totally biased.
For sure. No, you always keep it real.
I'm not totally biased. I keep it real, and the realness actually helps them adjust. It helps to adjust because you're watching, you're getting the information from some guy who don't have no connections to you. So I'm saying, hey, this is your flaws. And if you're one of those people like, nobody care what he say. He brought a gun to the locker room. And then you go out there and get your ass whooped. Like, whose fault is, who's the dummy now? No Chill with Gilbert Arenas is brought to you by 10,000.
10,000 makes the highest quality. The best fitting and most comfortable shorts I have ever worn. I've been wearing the interval shorts and their versatile shirt when I'm on the bike and was actually just shooting around in them a couple days ago. Had I had these 10 years ago, I'll probably be discussing my next Supermax deal right now. 10,000 makes gear for all sports with features like silver ion for odor protection, no bounce phone pockets, breathable fabric, and optional liners to reduce chafing. These clothes can take your training sessions to the next level or at least make them more comfortable. Another thing I love about these guys is they curated their selection of offering. There aren't a billion items on the site, just the goods. 10,000 is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase. Go to 10,000.cc/no-chill to get your discount. That's 10,000.cc/no-chill.
So in my limited time working with you on the show, you've said a lot of shit, and it's come true. I mean, you said Ben Simmons from the jump should say back. And now he's saying back, but he could have had a bag saying back, and it really would have been back at this point, and he would have been all good to go. Like, even if it wasn't really back, it doesn't matter. This is the NBA. No, everybody's full of shit. It is what it is. But let's move on to these Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns became the first center since Shaq to drop 60 in a game. Does Cat belong in the best big combo in the league right now?
The best, is he a center? He's a power forward. Like, come on.
That's what, it's hard for me to, I feel like the center position is coming back a little bit, but it's hard to put Cat kind of in that space just because everything he does. But
that's just I didn't put him as a center. I put him as a power forward. But it doesn't matter.
Power forward center.
60-15 is 60-15.
Bigs to me, though. So does he belong in that best big combo? With guys like Embiid, Joker, Giannis, we got a nice crew nowadays. Does Cat belong there?
I'm saying yes, but the public will say no because he's in Timberwolves, right? It's just some reason no one respects his name or his game. It's just weird. It's just weird because he is a dominant big. Like he is a dominant big. He's skilled. I just don't know. When you say his name, it just be like, oh.
Is that lingering from the whole Jimmy Butler situation from years ago? Is that still kind of?
Who is his beef with? His beef with, was it a Joel Embiid?
I mean, I feel like he's had some
when Joel Embiid was calling him soft, was that matchup?
I thought Jimmy was, but maybe I'm tripping.
No, that was his teammate. No, who was his opponent that kept saying he's?
Was it? Yeah, it might have been.
It might have been Embiid. Yeah, It's just that it just for some reason he doesn't have that strong present name that when you talk about bigs, you actually put him in. If someone says, all right, name the top 5 bigs in the NBA right now, he will be the name everybody just be like, they just go over. No one really thinks about it.
Is that a Minnesota thing? Because that squad is pretty scary. I'll just say that. Everybody kind of felt like the Lakers were going to be one of those lower seeded teams that could make some noise and upset some. But it feels like Anthony Edwards, that squad they got out there in Minnesota could do some stuff.
See, there it is. He doesn't have the personality that matches his game. He's quiet, right? He's the quiet assassin.
Yeah.
It's not like when you think about Timberwolves, you think about Anthony Edwards because he has that confidence, that swagger. I'm the best player in the NBA. You can't guard me. I'm the future. Like, that's what you would think that Anthony, if he starts saying, yeah, I'm the best big man in the league, I've been doing this, I've been, killing people, they have nothing on me, it makes people watch and see who he is. But right now, he just goes under the radar.
Yeah, for me, that's a squad, even bringing on a guy like Pat Bev to kind of bring that just mentality there, that they're scrappy, they're hungry, they want to make some noise, they want to do some things.
Yeah, first round exit, we get it.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. They very well might be matched up with the Grizz or something like, the way this thing's gonna pan out.
Oh, that'd be a great watch.
That'll be, it's going 7, I feel like. And
that'd be a great watch.
This is really a chance, and cat aside for Anthony Edwards even, to really now make his name. And I don't think Ant's gonna be phased at all about being in the playoffs.
No, I mean, you with him, D'Lo, you got a nice 3. You have a nice young 3. Like, that's the type of team That's the type of threesome that you keep for 4, 5, 6 years because they're all so young. You can keep them till they're 30, 31, 32.
Yeah.
But that won't happen.
The league is the league. That's how it goes.
That won't happen. But that's what you got 3 pieces, 2 guards and a big man. And you just fill up year by year, fill up that roster to complement those 3. Because it doesn't look like they clash any.
So now let's keep it out west. We got to talk about them, even though I really don't want to because it's been depressing as shit. But these Los Angeles Lakers, 2-8 since the All-Star break. Those 2 wins came behind LeBron James' 50-point performances, Herculean efforts. I already know who the first person that you're going to blame for this season is, but move that Caucasian gentleman aside. Who's second most to blame?
Another Caucasian?
Second most to blame for this
Another Caucasian? Who put it all together? Is it Pelinka?
Some will say LeBron has that going on.
No.
Will have some input.
He can't sign him. Okay, this is why
But that's what they do. So when Pelinka was getting, Executive of the Year award, he was the one making all the decisions. When it didn't work out, it's actually LeBron.
Okay, it's Pelinka.
The GM, as they say.
This is why. Okay, when you were trying to get Tyronn Lue, you already told him who his coaching staff was. Your coaching staff, you need Jason Kidd, boom, 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 right? And that's why Tyronn Lue was like, no, I don't want the job, right? So Fogel agrees. He wants the job. And this is why I say Pelinka, because your head coach does not match your staff. Does not match your staff. Your staff are offensive creators. They're offensive creators. You have Hanley over there. You have Simmons was there. You have
Fizdale.
So you got Fizdale now. You got Penberthy over there. You got John Lucas III. Like, you have offensive, your whole staff is offense, scoring, creating. I mean, they probably have the best staff in the NBA when it comes to creating points. But you're the head coach, and your motto is defense. So 1, they can't help you. They can't help you. 2, you ain't listening to the shit they gonna say because you're the head coach. That team is a Jason Kidd's team. His head coach, he was a scoring guard. He pushed the tempo. His staff matches him. You need Thibodeau and with you, and you need all them defensive guys who want to score 62 points a game, and the Detroit Pistons team. You need those guys as your staff to really like hone in and help you. They can see all the flaws defensively, but you got a whole bunch of guys who know scoring, understand scoring, teaching scoring. You asking them questions, I'll be sitting over there like, yeah, that's who you putting in? Amazing. Reeves, great job, buddy. Like, because I would have been the first person on that team to say, hold on, coach. I know you want this defensive lineup out there. I get it. I'm a scorer. I played against lines up like this. With me, I'm gonna go at this guy on defense. I get to rest on offense. So now your offense actually sucks because I don't have to guard my guy anymore. I can say, all right, Reeves, hey, you're in that corner. You sit in that corner. And I get to sit here and just play defense on this guy, right? He's guarding Steph Curry. Steph Curry on defense gets to do this. He gets to look and play safety against everybody. And then on offense, he has all this rest. And I get to do all these picks and you got Reeves out there shooting 1 shot every 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it's like you got people in your lineup that's shooting basically the average of one shot every 8.5 minutes. But they're pointless because the person they're guarding is shooting a shot every minute. So that you're not making that offensive player work. So you need to actually, like an offensive, like your staff is offensively minded. So you're trying to attack offense with offense. I want to get Steph tired. So I want to run plays. Like if you're running plays for, Reeves like they do in Miami for Duncan, that makes sense. Run, step off, a whole bunch of picks, get his ass tired, get these other guards tired. You're guarding Booker. Run Booker off screens.
Yeah.
Like, when I played for Grizzlies, right? And we had to play against Chris Paul in the playoffs. This is what we did. We said, because, we had Tony Allen. So it's like, all right, Tony, this is what we're going to do. You're going to pick him up full court, get his ass tired. He's going to guard Conley on offense. Right? Conley, we're going to set a whole bunch of picks. Before we just throw the ball in to Zebo and Mark, set him, pick him, pick him, pick him, pick him. And then we're going to throw it in. Tony Allen, if he decides to rest and guard you, slash, and we're going to post him up. There was a plan to just get him tired so in the fourth quarter, he didn't control the ball. That's how you have to look. You have to be able to use the pieces. Like Reeves, if we're not running plays for him to come and slash and back pick and do all this, I don't need him on the court. Sitting in the corner, wait till he gets open to shoot a three. That is pointless offense to me. There's nothing. I can guard him by the stat sheet. I can look at a stat sheet and say, all right, he played 35 minutes, took 6 shots, 5 of them were threes, no free throws. All right, he just sits in the corner or he sits, okay, this guy sits in the corner and he only shoots shots when he's wide open. They do not draw any plays from him, so I can literally just turn my back on him. You don't want players out there like that. You're easy to guard.
So let's talk a little bit about Russell Westbrook. He came out in the media recently, said he doesn't even want his family to go to Lakers home games anymore just because of the Westbrook thing and him getting booed and things like that. What do you think when you hear things like that going on within Lakers Nation?
That statement and what's happening to Westbrook is exactly proved my point with Knicks fans. Knicks fans, I hope y'all paying attention over here. I hope y'all are paying attention. You don't go from averaging a triple-double to playing how you're playing. And he playing like he's playing as 17, 8, and 8. You know what I mean? So we're not pretending that he's playing horrible, but it's not the Westbrook that everybody's thinking that they were going to get. But he's still 17, 8, 8. The problem is this. His whole life is what? What is his whole life? Is an LA guy, right? Everything he does is LA. I've repped LA. I love LA. I bleed LA. To come out in a game and those fans boo you at home. When you get booed at home, it mentally destroys you. Home is like my family. Home is my brothers and my sisters. Home is the person who's hyping you out. Even if you're gonna lose, like yo, go 8 Mile, right? Those friends he kept, that's his home crowd.
Yep.
Hyping him out. You can do it, we can do it. Imagine if he was getting ready to rap and they start booing him. What if he started rapping, boo, boo, come on, man, you suck.
Yeah.
That deflates him. That deflates him. That's what happened. That's what he's going through. Happened to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was the second leading scorer on that team. He couldn't even play. He shouldn't have been playing. He's averaging 17 and 12. They booing him. I want no part. I want no part of this. You're not booing Steve Nash for not playing well. You're not booing Gasol, who's playing horrible right now. You're booing me? I don't want no parts of this.
Yeah.
This, you can see it in his eyes, like everything he has to second guess. Like, he's like, it's the confidence. Like, I personally didn't even think Westbrook confidence can get shook.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look, I've known Russ since he was at UCLA, knowing his background, his story, his family. It's been tough for me, especially I deal in the meme space, and it's been like I just kind of have a respect for Russ where I'll never come at him like that. But Lakers, and it's not like this is a new thing. I mean, you've seen it with KCP, Danny Green, Kuz.
Whoa.
There's a lot of shit.
And listen to the names you just said. It ain't no Westbrook.
But I'm not putting them on, but I'm just saying from the fan base. But those same fans, when you deliver, KCP was damn near playing at a finals MVP type of level in the bubble, they'll deliver. Some guys respond from that. I think, to your point, Russ being an LA guy, that's what magnifies it. Russ dropping 20-20-20 for Nipsey, the things he does.
But that's what I'm saying. He's LA. He loves this city. So when the city boos him, it's actually personal for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a personal thing. It's like, damn, y'all really hate me this bad, and I wear LA to the grave. It's more personal than it is basketball for Westbrook. You know what I mean? Like, you can see it in his interviews. Like, it's it's more hurtful to him, and it's like, damn. Like, damn.
I mean, for me, it's like, the Westbrook thing. I don't even think, I'm a LeBron fan, so LeBron's been called every name under the sun. But for Westbrook to see guys like Magic, guys like Derek Fisher, former Laker greats, slipping that in broadcast, and I know he looks at social, his wife, whatever. I mean, it's.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm wearing the same jersey you wore. Like, it's just more of a, we're, as athletes, we're already sensitive, to the outside world because we're praised for our greatness. And when someone nitpicks at us for the shit I'm doing out here, like, it kind of really, gets to a player because it's like, I put in hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, you can't beat me one-on-one. That's when that shit comes up. Yeah. You play me one-on-one then. that's where that conversation comes in at. So when you got the greats doing this, so like, I didn't do that shit when you did it, right? One, I was little and I couldn't do it, but then that's when you want to get personal and say some personal shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it backfires against you because you're playing in real time.
Exactly.
So, it's just one of those things where I don't see, I want him to stay, but I don't know if he stays. I don't know if he stays after this season.
Yeah.
And then wherever he goes, he's going to have a triple-double. That's the part.
What's up is, Westbrook doesn't necessarily have the best year this year, but wherever he goes, I feel like he's going to lock back in.
He's locked in right now. It's more, he's letting the outside world in more than he did in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to remember, when you're in a season, it's locked down. Like I can tell you how strong mentally Ben Simmons was. 99.9% of media would have voted he wouldn't have went back in that building. And nigga came in strolling, saying that. On the floor, taking his shot, getting his shots in, doing his pregame, ball coming to him, he's out there. Yeah, bring it in.
It's a little different, though, when you coming back in with KD and Kyrie,
But that's what I'm saying. It never had nothing to do with the fans.
Yeah.
This thing didn't have nothing to do with the fans. That's why he came back. If he was scared y'all was gonna boo him, it was easier for him to sit at home. No one was expecting him to come. And showed up with him like, hey, what's out there, y'all? I'm here. Get him ready. He embraced that. Like, usually, you're gonna be sitting on the side, like, knowing everyone's gonna boo you. Like, no, I'm not, I don't care about them. They're not my problem. They've never been my problem. Man, it's them two donkeys down there. You know what I mean? Them two donkeys down there. And that was his approach to that game.
So last thing Lakers related I want to hit you on. LeBron became the first player, 10,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Broke the record, though, or set the record, in a 29-point loss to the Suns. After the game, he was celebrating, doing all types of stuff. Is it bad optics for LeBron to be celebrating these personal accomplishments when the team is so trash right now?
You remember them Leon Bud Light commercials? He got to be Leon. Shit, I wasn't bad. I wasn't terrible today. Them niggas was, You know, that's like, come on. Like, was he not supposed to? I mean, listen. It would have been unrealistic if he did what he usually would have did. You know, like, hey, you know, these stats are meaningless, you know, and, you know, we should have won the game and blah. That's unrealistic. Come on. You just did something that no one has ever done. I want to see you actually have real feelings, right? Who cares what everybody else says?
Because they're not going to ever do this shit.
Who cares? Like, I guarantee you, if your sales team had a horrible sales group and you did your job and they promoted you, you're not going to be like, oh, you're going to be, pop them champagne. So, you know, I'm glad he celebrated. I'm glad he kind of celebrated what he did as an individual.
This has been another
That's
episode.
it? You just gonna just...
That's a great out.
All right, bam. All right.
That's a great ending. It's been another No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We'll be back with more very soon.